What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at part. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make fun if the academia investigated and found her at Parties DI? Do you have some way to invite her over to Parties DI without stepping on the academia's toes? Okay then, I'm counting on you.
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor.
Madame Faruzan, we're back. Sorry for asking again.
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely...
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus! Today... Huh?
Yes. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right! Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a... Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research and that of Amorta, right?
Master wants to research,
a fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't...
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madame Faruzan?
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of the learning.
Master, we're back!
You don't have to shout. Well, you got here...
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to,
On to others? What does that mean?
we can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the...
That's right. Please, follow me. Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life.
Is Karkata?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but Madame Faruzan, you should be able to find—
Not necessarily. Mechanical life, there are multiple modules here that influence each other. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of
Karkata.
Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said—
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Far— We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her. Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia— I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were—
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from I did all— I lost track. Then, after that, my memory started to become fuzzy.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin, and when she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, the academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to— Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew. In the end, even the academia had— Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within— Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various—
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really— If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at some—
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does—
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its— Abatui's modified this module extensively. The creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could— The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became—
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt— Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? Well, that is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in...
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that...
Trouble from the academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
It's so hot. Even a mist flower would melt in this. Now that I think about it, it wouldn't. But you'll get what I mean. Oh. Keep up.
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to...
Damage the site? I've excavated...
He isn't at the campsite now.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to.
Keep up.
The ruins? Forget excavation. They won't even...
This area used to be ravaged by freak. They say that this was done.
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? The villagers were hired to deliver. However, I'm more concerned about this ruin wanderer. It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps...
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for... It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for... Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing... And you youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. What?
Well, I had all...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they...
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeology. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that...
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they... The wise do not buy.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come... You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe...
In truth, I could ask... However, you two must... It's getting late, and my subordinates and I are heading back to the... There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest...
Since you need to rest as... Is quit now. I have my suspicions about but based on the condition of the armor and joints, yes. The timing... How do you suppose it was able to maintain a relative... That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to... Well, this was over 100 years ago. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more rest... Honestly, people in ancient times... Had I confronted Raid right... If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher... Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next... They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast... Are those sounds coming from the excavations? Not a single... I'll see if they left any clues behind it. All right.
Why isn't the tent here yet?
It's still on the way.
Hurry up and hide.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our... Someone damaged our current tent. The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried. Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be... Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is there... Also, where's Faruzan?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Yes, we should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow. Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on. According to them, I also observed the wreckage up. There's no doubt that the wreck could have fallen into a trap or encountered. However, I still. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in. It's just. Just a bit more.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away?
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? That's impossible! What?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? It to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to...
Faruzan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 5th. 3 tents sold. January 10th. 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage.
I don't know what you're talking.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey!
Mr. Raid!
Behind you? Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However...
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large... Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time? Long time no see, Tamimi.
Dear Faruzan, it has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the... But somehow, I feel like you've always been persistent. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. Only Tamimi is still the same as before. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea. You didn't like coming home back then, and I don't know the answer to that question, but if you... I regret not being able to say this to you myself.
But I'll still welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I met with that accident, it was on the... I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, and so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous... Tamimi, which used to be all so it could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge bomb, even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limit. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It most likely only react. Tainari told you what happened to me. You don't have to apologize. Besides, however, finding out that so many people were... Can you head back to Parties-VIII first? As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer.
Looking for trouble?
Have a little taste. Suffocate.
As you wish, mein Fräulein. Where do you think you're going?
Pick the wrong test subject.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
How was your journey through the desert? So Madame Faruzan has...
Madame Faruzan...
I'm back! What?
Madame Faruzan!
That's more like it. Now, here are some components.
So this is a relic of an ancient sip...
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? It's nothing. I've already given all the... I'll start repairing Carcata then. Kale, can you help?
Of course!
Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Carcata? Even if we could, I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Parties-VIII looks... Once Carcata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance, but for now, just help me keep this secret. Thank you. Whether it's 100, I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah, I'm home.
In a trade,
Even though most of the academia's restrictions, I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation.
Does it have to be?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust.
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself.
Oh, hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task. It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives. You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior. Let's just say that a huge part of Ksharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the act because of that. Her current personality can be a bit, strange, as is...
I'm getting a headache just thinking.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous... It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she's still... I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some... Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Thank goodness.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go!
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself?
Faruzan, I said that you need to give it.
Yes. And did you forget to...
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor?
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with... You don't have to tell me anything.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long...
In any case, makes no sense to use a metric like this to...
Wait! Madam
That's her, all right. But shh! She hates it when people call... Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like... They're wondering if you'd be interested.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the Academia?
I'm much better, Madam Faruzan.
Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing...
No! It's because I'm a slow learner. It's not...
It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your...
There's really...
Ah! And is the person... Oh! It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is... I'd wager it's those Ksharawar dunderheads finding excuses.
It might be difficult to teach a course with topic. You can teach a course or participate in a collab.
Could you not give me a few more days to
That's precisely the issue.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainar. Of course. I shall need some time.
What now? She seems... Master said there's no rush. But I know that I feel for Madame Faruzan. But if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such... But if the Academia... Do you have some way to invite her over to parties, DI? Okay, then.
I have to teach...
Madame Faruzan, we're back!
Well, since...
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus! Huh?
Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise...
Yeah, that's right!
Wait. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan...
Master wants to...
A fully automated irrigation...
A fully automated...
Precisely. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring
a mechanism like that exists? But we can't prove its existence one way or...
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official
proposal. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. Even though this is our first meeting,
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madame Faruzan?
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details.
Huh? Then how will...
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents... If I'm right, the request he has in...
What now? Master said there's an... I feel for Matt, but if I get her in trouble with the academia... Yeah, that would be... But I'm sure he'll say, the bet... Huh? Oh yes, so if I also stay and help... that still sounds okay then.
Huh. I have to teach
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay in...
Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious. Is that so? Good. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat? I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while I don't belong to Ksharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
She has been invited to Ksharawar multiple...
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Ksharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in if they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to
No, that's not it. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan.
Oh. Putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar...
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a...
Well, since both of you feel as such...
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find
Madame Faruzan. You still haven't found...
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Partie-VIII. Thank you. Why?
Perspective is just tunnel visioning.
Madame Faruzan! Oh, it's really...
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still... After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low.
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be.
That's enough. I will not...
All right. He's usually at the slope. Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so...
Yes, that's me.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make... We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future research.
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive...
So the design can't be too...
I remember that in your notes.
The contraptions in my notes... I didn't create them, but now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and...
You have an idea already? I suppose I... Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple?
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Ani.
It's such a simple toy. There's no need.
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Huh? Okay.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new...
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play card.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just...
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the...
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total. Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this...
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as...
You were looking at it quite seriously.
I think...
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough papers. Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is? What a shame. You were close. However, you did well for someone seeing pagoda stack for the first time. Let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't...
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it. Madam Faruzan,
That many? But there are only 7
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for pagodas, I could spend some time picking out. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers...
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk. I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them. Yeah, putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research method. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come no matter what corner of the unknown, because I believe wholeheartedly, even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain in the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials. Still, the funding that Kasharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat. Oh, I could... You're right. Explanations are by using detailed and accurate illustration. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone we possibly could.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were all right. Let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design.
Are we done yet?
I don't understand any...
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we...
No. I will find a way to make up...
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Ah, you're that...
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like... Let me introduce myself.
What's the branch?
I came to Port Ormo. Can you print a few...
What does the Adventurers Guild want?
You may see them as toys, but we have many members who can't even if the act...
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Oh, if you can make wood... If we can supply a model set...
You really think so?
Making models of contraptions for the adventurers?
We'll probably have to... After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the academia...
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. This much.
Even if an antique is priceless, the happiness it brings lasts for only the moment that you obtain it.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Taina. Anise. We haven't had much time to get to know each other. She's able to calmly figure out the basics. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few. Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, my research into mechanisms is, in a sense, aside. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, if I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference. You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easy. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Oh, you're...
We've called up everyone we possibly...
My master... And if we activate this little mechanism, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cave.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air. It's a...
If the mechanism was big,
then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Let's look at the next page.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's...
Everyone! We have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too!
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials.
Oh! My origami bird flew further this time.
Professor Faruzan? How can I make...
Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example...
Wow! It really did fly farther!
Madam Faruzan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like. In the future, if you want, you can even be...
But Mom and Dad said that which darshan...
Well, in this case...
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Haravatats. How did this happen?
What if we end up in a
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms.